If you are interested in travel narratives, biographies, and history, then I have just the book for you. It is a book many Americans should read and one that can be learned from. This book is entitled Bayou Farewell, The Rich and Tragic Death of Louisiana's Cajun Coast by Mike Tidwell. The main character, of course, is our narrator, Mike. In this book, he depicts his hitchhiking travels through the state of Louisiana. He meets many people along the way and describes them in such a way that they become familiar to the reader. Bayou Farewell, however, is an all-too-real depiction of the loss of Louisiana's land and marshes. Every year, at least 25 square miles of land is lost to the salty water of the Gulf. This land loss is not due to global warming, as some claim, but instead because of human interference in Mother Nature's affairs. By building levees to prevent the Mississippi River from flooding as it used to, the government has prevented the annual supply of land-building sediment from replenishing Louisiana's land and marshes. The oil industry has also played a major role in the hand of erosion and in the progression of the Gulf inland because of their creation of new canals through the marshes out to the oil rigs. Sadly, no one but the citizens of the Cajun state are even aware of this huge problem because, as the narrator points out, it is not the Everglades or a likable endangered species that is in need of salvation. Instead, it is a marshland inhabited by a society of people many stereotype as hostile, poor, and uneducated. Today, the land is continuing to sink, and pretty soon, unless something is done to stop it, Louisiana will become America's lost city. Thus, Tidwell's story acts as a motivational outcry to his readers to save this culturally rich environment. Throughout the story, he gives insights to both the language and traditions of this society. Tidwell himself participated in the boat christening ceremony, which is held annually to bless the boats for the new fishing season. Therefore, if you enjoy a good adventure that is non-fiction, you should give this book a try. It will take you down the bayous of Louisiana and into the backwood hearts of the Cajun way of life. And just to pique your interest, here are a few excerpts from the story. I can't believe I'm about to cry, but there it is. My eyes well up as I face one last time the two Cajun fishermen. They are grizzled men, standing in the thin light of a new moon, standing on a wobbly dock at the end of Bayou Petit Calou, just spitting distance from the Gulf of Mexico. We shake hands goodbye, but the gesture is decidedly awkward and grossly inadequate. And though I dare not hug these men, I want to. And perhaps they want to hug me too. But these are working men, shrimpers, with scars on their hands and tattoos on their arms and cigarettes behind their ears. They are poor men who, on a bad day, will put in 20 hours for just $300 or $400 pay. And yet they've given me everything they have: food, drink, shelter from storm, a ride down the bayou, and a journey through a Cajun world that is as backwoods and off the trodden path as anything in America. Tidwell writes, "What's being lost is an American treasure, a place as big as the Everglades and just as beautiful, where sky and marsh and wildlife converge, where millions of migratory birds thrive on wetlands that once served as muse to John James Audubon. This world, containing a staggering 25% of America's total coastal wetlands, may be totally gone in a few decades, taking with it a huge part of America's economy and a shield against hurricanes for 2 million citizens. Yet almost no one outside this affected area, outside lower Louisiana, knows what's happening here. I certainly didn't, before wandering literally onto this land and this complicated, unhappy tale whose roots stretch back more than a century. This is quite simply the greatest untold story in America."